views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCN TV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCN TV Network claims no rights to the said content. TCN TV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCN TV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program. Welcome, everybody.
Greetings upon greetings.
Welcome, Dave.
Greetings, my girl.
How are you?
Yeah, I know.
Tired?
Very.
My feet hurt.
Mine too.
It's been a busy week, but I want to welcome everybody to Here to Help You, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to all the viewers who have been supporting us, and for those who haven't been supporting us, you will. Don't worry. We're going to find something to catch you. Don't worry. And we'll keep trying until we do. So,
for sure.
You know what? Today is interesting. Today we don't have many videos. Usually I start off with a video or something, but today we got a lot of facts and one thing that Dave and I have started to do, and we want to go back to, is back to our roots. We are educators at heart, both of us. Dave is more, he has a little bit more education when it comes to our African history, which is what I utilize him for. And I have...
No, education.
And my mastering subject is psychology. So we found a way to combine those together because we know that education, number one, is an issue in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously mental health and psychology is another thing that's kind of ignored and needs to be talked more about. And today we decided to talk about relationships because, interestingly enough, this was something that Dave was working on.
Yeah. You know, I'm always looking for... knowledge, so that way we as a couple, more than anything else, that we flourish.
Yeah.
Right. And today it helped me, right? Especially now, went through our, well, I wouldn't say rough periods, but the times where that
rough periods. It's okay. We can be real.
Uncertainty.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, like hopefully, our viewers out there, they get something out of it. There's a booklet, actually a workshop booklet out there as well. Right. So we'll definitely see what's up.
So I know you guys saw some of our discussion points today that we'll be going through. We're going to get through this information as quickly as possible because we really want to get it out to you, and we want you to think about it. When we do these shows, people, again, our shows are not for the lighthearted. It's for the people who are willing to start doing some work. If you are willing to do the work, the help is here. We are here to help.
Yes, we are.
We have the knowledge base. We are able to help you, but you need to want to accept the help. So let's go over some statistics. Really quickly. So,
facts.
According to Statistics Canada, 40.7% of all marriages in Canada can be expected to end in divorce before the 13th wedding anniversary. Expected to end in divorce.
Expected.
Okay, that's
wow.
from Fascinating Families 2011. That's when that statistic was given.
Okay.
Now, they also indicate that divorce is most likely to happen after 4 or 5 years of marriage. Right before that 7-year itch.
Okay.
After which the likelihood of divorce declines with each subsequent year. Okay. So if you make it past that 5, 6, 7 years, you might just make it.
These statistics about divorce, however, do not include the number of cohabitating in common law couples. Now, those obviously are not considered when we're doing a lot of these statistics.
Yeah, I'm sure those numbers would change. You
They
know,
would if you
whether
included
it's on the
cohabitation.
and whether it's on the positive or negative side of things,
Oh,
right?
it'd be negative. Let's be real. So, we're going to talk about the demographic factors for divorce. So, some of the demographic factors that you need to take in consideration are marital disruptions, including age, income, education, employment, and parental marital status. These are the demographic reasons.
That's
For
interesting. The last one there is a really, really interesting parental and marital status.
why?
Um, because it is a major factor, and I think a lot of us we just don't look at that when we're especially when like the budding stages of relationships and going and so on and so forth,
Oh, on the
right?
honeymoon stage, where
Right,
everything looks so lovely.
right. So I mean, or especially when after that the haze is over, I guess the clouds of everything else is and like this
And you realize you were a jackass,
that they learned it from his mama, right?
right? And it's too late now because now you're knocked up, and you. This is why shows like this are so important, right? So let's look at some of the cultural factors that have contributed to this rate. Okay, so some of the cultural factors that have contributed to the current rate of divorce include the decline of religion in society, which I found interesting,
Okay.
eased divorce laws, individualism,
Hmm.
and a lack of tolerance among couples in the face of challenges. So this is from Profiling Canada Families, 2010.
Wow.
So in the survey of Canadian hopes and dreams, this is Bibby 2004, they outlined 5 key reasons that people choose to separate and or divorce, just to add to this, including the existence of different values, that one I can understand,
Right.
and interests, physical and emotional abuse,
Okay.
alcohol and drug abuse,
Mm-hmm.
infidelity, and career-related conflicts.
Yeah, that
I
could
was
be
wondering
huge.
about the career-related conflicts.
Why?
Would it be like someone who's always traveling all the time, maybe?
That could be that one thing. A position, right, that one wants to go after that will go ahead and take them away from the home,
From the family?
right?
Okay. So I also found some information about, obviously, I wanted to get, that's a little bit more general information. I wanted to get really specific. And I looked at black women. And the reason I pulled the black women and divorce rate up is because, end of the day, like, a lot of these women, I'm not saying they're not married to other people, but if you're looking at numbers, we're also looking at black men,
Okay.
right? You can't do one without the other.
Right.
So statistics indicate that approximately 1 in 2 black women experience divorce. That's
Wow.
50%.
Wow. Amazing.
As a result of divorce, black women face numerous psychological, social, and economic challenges that necessitate the use of effective coping resources. Now, do you think they have these effective coping resources, Dave? What do you think?
No.
No.
No, not at all. Because
And
a glass
who do
of
you think
wine
this
and
hurts?
a glass of wine and speaking to your friends is definitely not gonna help.
That's not coping. It's coping for that moment, but it's not
Right.
really coping. So this is from a dissertation, actually, the African, Caribbean, Canadian women coping with divorce family perspectives. It was written by, or actually research written by Renee Nicole Rawlings, March 16, 2004. So black children are more likely to live in a lone parent family.
Okay.
That's the reason I'm pulling this up is, again, relationships need to be understood.
Right.
Especially if they don't work. Who are they truly affecting? Yes, they affect the adult. We always need to remember that there's always some little ones sometimes involved in that. Or
Right.
not always. There are sometimes little ones involved.
Correct.
And they're the ones who are more directly affected by this, okay? Let's go over a few more statistics. So about 46% of black children age 14 and under live with only one parent, compared with just 80% of other children. So it's high. We went from 46 to 18%. So this is clearly affecting our community
Yes.
more than anyone else. Canadian-born black children were also more likely to live with a single parent than with their foreign-born counterparts. So, all right, let's finish these statistics off before we jump into how, because we present problems, but one thing that Dave and I strive for is to present solutions. We're
Yes.
not just going to give you a problem and be like, well, that's a problem, figure it out. No, we're going to present you with some loose solutions. Again, you have to want to make changes, okay? So we'll just speed through these. 3 in 10 children are living in a lone parent family, in a step family, or without their parents. Close to 2 in 10 children are living in a lone parent. So out of those 3 to 10, 2 to 10 of them are living in a lone parent family.
Okay.
1 in 10 children is living in a step family.
Okay.
And the highest proportion of children living in a lone parent family is in Nova Scotia. Interesting.
Yeah.
In 2016, so these are recent numbers, Nova Scotia, 26%, and New Brunswick at 24.3% had the highest percentage of children aged 0 to 14 living with a lone parent. So clearly, with these statistics, they're showing that there is something not right.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a combination of those factors to which we mentioned before, and also not having certain resources available,
Yes.
right?
And honestly, a lot of us are still suffering from the trauma from our parents,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we come back, we are going to start tapping into the 7 master skills. I want to remind everybody, this show is not just for people in relationships. If anything, this show is for people who are single
And want to be.
in a relationship. Because if you can master these skills, when you do get into a relationship, things will run a lot smoother. Because, of course, this always starts with knowledge of self.
That's right.
Right? When we come back, we'll start tapping into the 7 master skills required in a relationship. I'm here to help you.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. May your dreams all come true. Happy birthday to you.
We refuse to promote, report on anything negative in the community.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Here to Help You. We want to thank all of our viewers again for tuning in to my TCN TV network. Our roster of shows is getting bigger, actually. Just before us was On Point with Jermaine Chambers. He had
And the crew.
Yeah, and the crew. He had everyone in Parliament here. And after us, of course, is What Matters with Erica Edwards. So definitely stay tuned to what's happening here on my TCN TV network. Today, we are actually tackling 7 master skills required in a relationship. And people may say, well, how are you qualified, Simone? You're not married. Well, my parents have been married for 50 odd years, and I've watched the relationship for 50. No, I haven't watched it for 50 years because I'm not 50 years old. But from what I remember, I've seen the relationship, and a lot of these things they talk about here, I've seen personally.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I've screwed up lots of relationships. Let's just be real. So, I've I've learned from them. 40 now, so I've learned
Okay.
how to mess up a relationship, and then I've learned, obviously, with my current partner,
Wow, make it big
how
up.
to hush your lip.
Hold on, let me
How
straighten
to
up.
how to eliminate some of these things. So, in this segment, we're going to lay out the 7 master skills required in a relationship. I think this is useful whether you are in a relationship, like I was saying in the last segment, or not, because if you are alone, you can begin working on these and mastering these skills. What Dave is going to do is he's, of course, going to bring to light some of the historical origins of some of these skills here, because a lot of this stuff, again, a lot of the information that we're given is not new.
Right.
It's just like remixed and revamped and refurbished by whoever presents it, just like how we're doing it right now, right? So let's jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Let's do skill number 1. It's called heartfelt understanding. So it's about connecting to your partner's emotional world and putting yourself in their shoes. Does heartfelt understanding mean that you're going to have to agree with your partner all the time? Of course not. So this one, obviously with all of these, we're going to be pointing out what the skill is, but we're going to actually be giving everyone homework to do. And they're called the disciplines. So discipline number 1 that has to do with heartfelt understanding is becoming conscious of your partner's inner life. You begin to actually feel what your partner feels. So this is really about being selfless and really getting over yourself sometimes. Sometimes in situations where it's all about you. And listen, it is really about you. But when you're in a partnership, you've got to understand that there's another energy there working with you. So
Right.
it can't always be about you.
Yeah, they call it putting the other person first.
Yes, which is difficult for some people. So some of the homework that we're going to give to you is putting your lover 1st. It's not all about you, okay? One thing you can do, schedule periods of time where you will just attend to your partner's needs.
Yeah, that's important. I think we do a pretty good job with that.
You know what we do? Do you cook for me?
And yes, and I make you put down everything and make sure we have
And he
dinner.
makes sure I eat. Like
Yeah.
I'll say this, yes. How do we do that? When it comes to eating, we don't eat and work. We don't eat and do anything. When we're eating, we sit down,
It's
we
our
eat
time.
together. It's
Yeah.
our time. We enjoy a meal together. We'll watch a show or something together.
Right.
And then when it's time to go back to work, we go back to work and do what we need to do. But we find that time for just us. Important.
Yes, very
Right?
much.
Let's go into the second one. So again, skill number 1, heartfelt understanding. That means learning how to be empathetic. If you are with a sociopath, this will not work. If you're with a narcissist, this will not work because they
True.
don't know how to feel for anyone but themselves. So again, when you become clear with yourself about these type of things, you'll be able to identify when you're seeing narcissism or individualism.
There you
Which
go.
is one of the reasons for
Get the
course.
breakup.
right?
Yes.
All right, let's go into the next one.
Number 2, give your partner what they really need. Be aware of your partner's needs in order to know what is going on. Little signals, right? We can definitely see that within gestures, within, of course, the words, behavior patterns. You know, you'll be able to go ahead and tell exactly what your partner really needs. What do you say?
You know what? So I think the challenge with this is sometimes we're so consumed with what we are feeling and where we're at that we don't take the time to learn our partner's love languages. That's a very big thing. We sometimes will give to someone and think, oh, we're doing enough because we're doing it from the way that we want to do it from our perspective. And that's not truly understanding what your partner needs, right? For example, what would you say your love language is, Dave? Let me see if we get this right.
Hold on. Time out. If you want to know if you got it right, should you be saying it and then I'd be correcting you afterwards?
Well,
Huh?
okay, so for you, I
Uh-huh.
think your love language is touch.
Yes.
You like to be touched. You like to be held. That's important for you.
Well, thank you.
You don't tell me things. You like to be, words of affirmation also are very helpful for you. So touch and words of affirmation. Am I correct?
Correct.
This man love to get wake up to kisses. Man is so spoiled. Okay.
Listen, this is the way that I work.
Right, but you see, I understand that. So because I know that, if I know, for example, if I think he's having a bad day, I know exactly what to do to make him feel a little bit better. It may not always work, but at least I'm going down the right track. Give him one hug, he's fine. So what's my love language?
It's more than just one hug, my dear.
Gets one.
You definitely love to be hugged,
Yeah. I like
right?
hugs.
You definitely love to be hugged. It's really small things like I like leaving you, of course, like notes, cards. You know,
That's what
especially.
you like. What do
Hold
I
on,
like?
hold on, hold on. Right, hold on. Within these cards, of course, are words of affection, which you definitely.
We need attention.
There you go. Right. Thank you very much.
Anyone who knows me knows I need some attention. Very
Right?
good. So what's the discipline? What's the homework we're going to give them for this part?
Yeah, loving no matter what. The power of love, or adoration, and praise. Hold yourself present and open to your partner. Commit to maintaining your emotional connection regardless of the situation.
Resist withdrawing.
Yeah, which is tough, especially now. Of course, you're coming from a background where you've seen it so often, right? And especially with the saying of the parental, right, maternal, marital status, right? And especially seeing what has been going on in the household, right? So it's very difficult for something like that to go ahead and break, for someone to go ahead and break that chain, right?
Dave, talk to us about this.
I just said it. It's very hard. It is, because I mean, like I said, I mean, it's the first reaction,
It's withdraw.
right? I mean, mind you, a lot of us may want to go and withdraw for the simple fact of not blowing our top, right? And
Yeah.
especially, of course, giving into that emotional side, right then and there, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
with a lot of us, what we fail to do is to go ahead and communicate that part. Listen, I need a moment to go ahead and do this, like, and come back. Like my thing, I like to jog. I jog in the summer. If I could jog during the winter, I wouldn't, but that's another story.
Cool.
That's another story. I'm sure I'd hurt myself in the snow. But anyways, you're right. When I do go on my period to withdraw, right, I like to go and actually go jog, leave everything out in nature, and of course come back, and I come back stronger.
He just left me. That's all. So now I understand why he goes jogging. He never told me this before.
I like to jog. Well, for various reasons, but yeah, I mean, it helps.
It helps.
Yeah, definitely it helps.
Okay. But with that withdrawing, you do come back.
Oh yeah,
That's what's important.
Yeah,
It's that you come back.
I have to come. I made the commitment,
Yeah.
right? I made a commitment, and not just to you, right? I made a commitment to myself.
That's what's so important
Right.
with this. It's again, it does go back to self,
Right.
right? And we're gonna go into that
Mhm.
in a little bit. The importance of, through all of this, it's the knowledge of self. It's
Yeah.
knowing you and how you are in a relationship and understanding the difference between you and your partner.
Of course.
Right?
Of
And
course.
understanding that not everything revolves around you. And that even if you are in some type of battle, you've got to stay present in that moment with the
Yeah.
person. You can't just and of course, like you said, sometimes it is best to kind of move away. If you're going to cuss out the person, walk away.
For real.
I know there are some people who will come after you because women do that sometimes. A Jamaican woman will not let you walk away from her boy. Oh, hell no. Where are you going? Don't walk away from me. I have something to say. Boo-boo, let him go. You're better off because sometimes you just
true.
make things worse.
Yeah, man.
Truly.
Yeah,
And men do it too, though.
for real.
Men do it too. So when we come back, we're going to move into master skill number 3. But just to recap, the first 2 skills are heartfelt understanding
Mm-hmm.
and giving your partner what they really need. So learning their love languages.
right.
That might be another show all in its own, love languages. But we'll tackle that another time.
Another one.
We'll see you guys soon. I'm here to help you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. May your dreams all come true. Happy birthday to you.
We refuse to promote, report on anything negative in the community.
Hello everyone, my name is Jermaine Chambers, and I'm very excited to tell you about the newest political and current affairs program coming here to Brampton. It's called On Point.
The first step of true reconciliation is learning more about one another.
Join us on Tuesdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. as we discuss all the issues.
I will never forget the trust you put in me.
Municipal, provincial, federal, and any issue of national importance, we will talk about On Point. So do join us.
Welcome back, everybody, to Here to Help You. You are here with, of course, Simone Jennifer Smith and the one Dave Rankin. One thing we haven't done yet is big up the woman who makes this all possible.
Big up yourself, girl.
Miss Selena McCallum, big up yourself. Listen, she has a tough job, you know. People don't understand how tough her job is. You have to make us look good. And if we don't, your fault.
Especially when you're dealing with all the diva demands, right?
I don't have diva demands. Get out of here. I'm a really good host, okay?
The room needs to be at 45 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, you have tops, eh? Should we go back to the very first one, Dave? Hold on. What's our very first master skill?
What is that one? Tell me.
Heartfelt understanding of my needs.
Yes.
Okay?
See, there you go, right? Did I display it?
Let's go into skill 3. Talk too much. What's skill number 3?
Create, build, trust, and respect. Trust comes from the feeling that you have common interests, namely that you are committed to meeting each other's needs. When you fail to grow trust, you can only lose it, which is so important.
And also with trust, like everything is nice and dandy in the first 3 months. Okay.
Maybe 6.
Huh?
Maybe 6.
Maybe first 6 months. Maybe even year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Rainbows and butterflies. You know when trust becomes a problem?
Tell
When
me.
times get hard.
Mm-hmm.
When people come home at 5 a.m. in the morning.
It's true.
When they should have been home at like 12.
But you see, what happens from here and in and out is a coma, right? Love, heart. Yes?
I was drawing cards. Dave came home at 5 a.m. one morning. I was so pissed. I was so mad.
But patience needs to be exalted in matters such as that.
So, let me tell you I was so pissed off that night. Because that was when we discovered we had mice. And of course, I was by myself when I discovered this. And Dave should have been home at like 1. Dave didn't get home till like 5. And it was a big problem. That was a big blowout for us. No word of a lie, because trust came up. Because in my head, I'm like, where the hell are you till 5 a.m. in the morning, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you not home, though? I don't understand. What are you doing out there? Who and what is out there?
And
this is what can happen, though.
The thoughts, right? The thoughts
Spiral.
the seeds created in regards to thoughts, right? And of course, now you're questioning everything.
Everything.
Every last, oh man.
Every conversation,
Uh-huh.
every email you check, every
Uh-huh.
time you go on your phone. Like, what are you doing on your phone? What are you doing on your phone? But this is but these are the things that happen,
Right.
right? So let's talk about the homework that can be done to work on this type of issue, because trust is an issue in a lot of relationships. I think it's one of the reasons why most relationships broke up is because of trust.
Yeah,
Right?
there's been a continued abuse on both sides, right? And that's something that, of course, as learned behavior that we've learned,
Yeah.
right? So, and it's hard. It is. But at the end of the day, I mean, the relationships that we get into are worth it. They're worth the fight. So
Not all. Some are not worth it.
the ideal ones.
The ideal ones are worth it. So what is our homework?
Discipline. Yes, being yourself. Emanate and express your natural essence and true core. Right? Trust must begin with having confidence in yourself. Right? Having confidence in your own highest intentions and commitment. Trusting you to do the right thing.
This is where self is important.
Yeah, of course. Our forefathers, our foreparents have always told us, right? Know thyself.
Know thyself.
Right? Know that we're going to do the right thing.
If your intentions are good, you don't have to worry about anything else. You just got to make sure that you trust yourself. This was the problem I had. is I've never really trusted myself.
Okay.
And my intentions weren't always good.
Right.
I can be real about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this is why a lot of my relationships did fail, because I didn't have the best intentions. And because I didn't have the best intentions, I'd project my ill intentions onto my partner. Whether my partner was doing anything or not, I think I created some of that shit too, to be honest with you.
It happens. So, and once again, there's a number of things that come up from that, right? Of course, past relationships,
Yeah.
leading up to that, right? What we've seen,
Growing up.
as
Yes.
well, right? And of course, the influences as well, right? The influences, of course, when it comes to media, right? We see
Everybody is cheating on everybody.
movies. Yeah,
in these shows.
what's the show that we watched?
Oh, How to
And-
Get Away with Murder.
And everybody's sleeping with everybody.
Everyone's sleeping with everybody. So we're watching this, and think about what's going into our children's minds. They're watching these shows, like our teenagers, our young adults, 20.
Very impressionable, right? And they're
Wow.
going out there thinking like this is what life is like,
This is like, and that's not how it is.
Right? So, I
Well, it's kind of become it.
That's because the hypersexualization of everything, right? It's beyond, of course, what the hippie age was. At least there was some sort of a lot more love and respect, during that hippie age, even if they were sharing partners.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like, okay, you know what? Nobody cares.
No one cares anymore.
Yeah, nobody cares. Well, they only care for themselves.
Yeah, what
Right?
they can get out of things.
There you go.
Right?
Right?
So let's finish this up with the homework. What else should these people be doing?
Positive intent. Eliminate threats and judgment, and remember the power of language. I think this is huge. I think that the day that any couples out there, they go ahead and actually threaten their mate,
I've done this.
is a huge problem.
Sorry.
Right? It is going to create distrust.
Oops.
Seeds of distrust will go ahead and foster, and
Past
that's
relationship.
yeah, it is. It definitely is, But I mean, that power of language, right? I mean, we always say, words harm or heal, right?
I'm vicious though. My words harm.
They can, right? But you also have the ability to heal, and these are the two laws that reside within all of us.
Yeah.
Right? Our last discipline, especially for skill number 3, is the power of forgiving, forgetting, and flooding. You said
Lord.
flooring. You wrote flooring, but it is flooding.
Oops.
Right? Of course, forgiving and forgetting, hard. Definitely
And
hard.
flooring.
Well, let's see if you're in the business, right? Flooding. When it comes to flooding, what the author's referring to here is going back to now allowing your heart to overflow with the love that has kept you here. Right? That's what the author is referring to.
When you're
in this.
pissed though.
It's hard, yes. It is hard, right? But how do you get through it? You can't stay mad forever because nobody operates great on the. You try it.
You can stay mad forever, but
Try
who's
it.
that harming?
Try it. Go ahead, try it.
Who is it harming, really?
Right? The greatest generals have stayed angry at another, and who does it hurt? At the end of the day, right? I mean, so that whole thing in regards to present, being present. That's how to start in regards to allowing yourself to go ahead and flood your heart with love. Right?
Got it.
Understanding those principles in regards to why am I here? What is it that I see in this person? Right? And more importantly, how does this person make me feel beyond, of course, that incident?
Okay.
Right?
Are you able to do that?
I'm here.
You are, and I'm so difficult to be in a relationship with.
Actually, no.
Yeah.
There's a lot more great moments as opposed to our rocky moments.
But the rocky moments are rough. I'm like a tsunami.
Well,
That's what I've been told.
what?
When I come crashing, boy, all Japan gone. All right, so
Stop it.
skill number 4.
Right.
Reclaim playfulness. Oh, don't they look nice? Reclaim playfulness, presence, and passion. So, how do you do this? If you are a masculine, this would mean showing your passion, pursuing, and initiating lovemaking with your partner. See, we need to also understand the idea of balance and reciprocity in relationships. Balance when it comes to masculine and feminine energies. One thing they said here is if you have masculine energy, there are certain things, and they weren't talking gender.
Right.
This is not gender specific.
Right.
Masculine energy, you should be showing your more passion. You should be pursuing that woman, pursuing that man. Let's reality again. This
Right.
is not gender specific.
Right.
And initiating love with your partner. If you are feminine, stick to your role, provoking, enticing, so that your partner will come after you. Sometimes I think another problem here is we get our genders, not our genders, our energies mixed up. Some women, you trying way too hard to be like everything. You're a woman. Stop. And for some men, honestly, I just don't think they don't know how to really bring forth that masculine energy.
Well, you know what? Some of it, of course, is them holding back.
Yeah.
Right. Some of them, of course, wanting to go ahead, but not knowing how.
to.
Right. And of course, sometimes, remember, even as the world turns, like the woman leads and then the man follows. Right. So, I mean, the Virgo vortex, so on and so forth. Right. But I mean, sometimes we get our love signals, we get that match, that readiness or attentiveness from
I like your hat.
the woman. That's very random, but thank you.
So let me do the last two disciplines, the homework for you for reclaiming your playfulness, presence, and passion. The discipline of daily intimacy, full engagement. Open your heart and hold nothing back. So open your heart to your partner and let your presence, playfulness, and passion bring spice to different times in your life. Don't ever hold back. If there were times that you used to shut down or look the other way, engage your partner in those times and actually communicate. So when you're so used to shutting down, force yourself not to shut down.
It's true.
That's when you must open up to your partner. And discipline number 7, so your other set of homework for this playful section, is the discipline of polarity, the power of dancing energies. I was just talking about this. So sexual polarity is an eternal energy and is responsible for obviously great sex and lasting passion.
Right.
So one way to increase your polarity is to take on the strengths of your gender. If you are masculine, the strengths of purpose, protection, and commitment. If you are feminine, the strengths of vulnerability, the flow of feeling, spontaneity, and provocative play. So just be carefree and loving and be a girl, be girly, wear pink. Don't be a hard ass all the time, girls. And men, it's okay. We embrace. A woman needs to let a man sometimes be a man.
Yes.
You have to let that happen sometimes. And men, you need to embrace a woman when she's being a woman.
True.
Right? Don't shun that. Let us, let's dance our energies, dance in polarity.
There you go.
So when we come back, we are going to go over skill number 5, skill number 6, and skill number 7. And definitely want you guys to comment, like, and share. If you have a comment about where you've used these skills or how you can use these skills or even what to do with these skills, definitely leave a comment and we will get back to you. We'll see you soon. I'm here to help you.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
So we started a little bit late today. We're going to go through this. And you know what, though? Dave is going to put this up on our website. So definitely check this out on www.
Oh my, hold on. I'm just going to stay over here while you go ahead and reclaim.
here-2-help.com. And he will have a list of all of these skills for you. So don't worry.
Plus, where you can find the booklet as well. Big up Tony Robbins for this, because you know what? We see, of course, sometimes the Caucasian, and sometimes we understand that, of course, they do things from a profit, right? Because capitalists is simply what they do.
This is what they do.
Right? But sometimes when they speak in a universality, right, we should be able to go ahead and relate to this, and I found this very relatable.
Right. So, skill number 5, harness courage and embrace honesty. So Deal with upsets in the moment, or else they build up and become unmanageable. Now, I need to speak on this. Okay, when it says to deal on it in the moment, not the exact moment, not when emotions are high, because it's a waste of time. There is no point in trying to argue with someone when you are both angry. There's no point trying to have a discussion with someone when you're both angry. Again, you can step aside, but come back and deal with whatever problem it was.
You know, and it takes you have to know yourself to when to go ahead and say, you know what, we can't do this right now, right? And more
Yeah.
importantly, you have to be even have greater knowledge of self to understand, of course, you know what, you're right to agree with that, to be in that moment to say, you know what, we can't do this right now. We have to take a step back to come back at it.
I love the press, though. I want to talk about it now. That's me. You can't do that. You can't do that.
It doesn't work.
It does not work. Okay?
Ask her if it works.
It doesn't work. He just shuts down even more, and it makes things worse. So, homework for you for this one. So, the discipline of loving truth. This is discipline number 8. The power of vulnerability. When something bothers you and you explain this to your partner, they'll have a tendency to feel blamed. Okay? You must express yourself spontaneously in the moment and from the heart. Again, there takes a certain level of maturity to be able to do this.
Yeah, of course, you know. It's the communication factor as well. Understanding like why we are doing this, right? And that makes it worth it.
Use phrases which avoid blame. No, you. The moment you start pointing fingers, you're lost. It done.
Yeah.
I feel bothered when this happens. I feel upset when you speak to me like this. I feel hurt when this isn't done. I feel like you're not listening to me. Much better than saying, you don't listen to me.
Right.
You never hear what I have to say. You're always doing this. And staying away from those, what are those words like always, never.
Yeah, those type of words.
Those type of
are
words.
like
You
very
never listen to me.
relationship breaking.
Those are horrible.
Right.
Stay away from those.
There's a ritual, Okoma House Initiative, for those who, of course, you know, want to go ahead and look at the African-centered principles, where they, the couple, there's a ceremony where they actually release those type of words from their relationship,
Okay.
right? Of course, they write them down, you know, put them in the bowl, right, and actually, you know, release it out into the atmosphere.
You never tell me about this stuff, Dave. Ba-dum-ching. Okay, so let's jump into skill number 6.
Go on with it.
You go with it. It's yours. It's about gone with it. It's yours, guy.
Uncover and create alignment. Recognize and appreciate your differences so that they enrich your lives rather than create friction. And this is like highly, you and I were like, what, night and day?
Night and day.
Oil and water?
Oil and water.
Actually, no, not oil and water, do you know? Like,
Our horoscopes say we will never survive. We won't make it. 1 in 1,000 gajillion chance that you guys will ever make it. Cancer and Aquarius, look it up. Never. Compatibility 0 for everything. Everything.
can I tell the story when you called me at work?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So prior to me starting off with full-time at Here to Help, I was working, you know, in a call center for a company I won't even go into saying their name. But anyway, she calls me, she starts crying, so, we're not going to make it. Of course. I'm curious. Why? Why would you say something like that, right? And she said, oh my God, you know, and so I tell her, okay, you know, hold on, just wait. Let's go home. You know, when I come home, you know, we'll look into whatever it is that you're watching. They make you want to go to do this.
I was right.
Right? And so, you know, we sat down and watched whatever it is she watches, right? I think we would do, what, 3, maybe 4 videos?
More than that.
Something like that?
A few articles.
There you go, right? And I was like, you know, like, oh, okay. I understand why that you want to call me at work, right? But the great thing about it is that after watching those videos, right, we get a chance to go and see those patterns in each other.
And we know when they're happening.
And that's the best thing about it too. Okay, let me go ahead and leave you in your shell, right? You'll come out with the play when you feel like it, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, leave me alone.
There you go, right?
Don't bother me.
Right?
So what are some of the homeworks that people can, because this is something that we, again, I think it's level of maturity. We've both gone through so much in our lives that we're just like, we don't have time for this shit.
Right? The discipline of utilization, the power of higher meaning and constant growth, right? And that's exactly what we utilize, especially in that situation,
Growth.
right? We understood, right, the patterns. We've seen it, and it helped us to grow,
Yes.
right? It helped us to go ahead and understand exactly where we are in that particular moment,
Yes.
right? Which, if you need space, okay, fine, here, take your space, right? And vice versa, right? Or I'll know when for a fact with that, you know what, you'll need a hug, or you'll need those words of encouragement. Right? I know that for a
Or I
fact.
need some bami and saltfish.
Oh, you need some bami and saltfish, which you didn't finish last time for your bird, son. But anyway, yes, it did go to good place.
This is why we argue. Okay, don't have to curse you out on television.
Guada, curse me out. I double dare you, Guada.
Discipline 10, the discipline of gratitude and giving.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciation is power.
Yes.
Yes, we do this a lot. I'm always telling Dave how much I appreciate it. Honestly, it's not corny. Like, it'll just be random. I'll be like, I really appreciate when you cook bami and saltfish for me. You're such a good cook, babe. Do you know, did I ever tell you I love when you cook? No one makes plantain chips like you.
Guess what we're having for dinner tonight, right?
Listen, women, it works because it keeps cooking it. So you guys can stay there and say what you want. Judge me if you want.
Listen, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna cook. All right.
Whatever. You cook what I want. Okay.
Cool, yeah.
All right. Last skill, because we got to get out of here. We got to get Erica. Miss What Matters. Miss Erica Edwards is coming on, so we got to get her on. Be behind a little bit today.
All right, come on with it.
So why you always tell me to go on when it's you? It's your turn.
Oh, it is mine?
No, yes. Last skill number 7. You always do this, Dave. Go.
I think we need to go and release that language out into the air.
No, you
One of the next
always do
incense.
this. Go ahead.
Live consciously, be an example. Many of our appetites, desires, opinions, and behavior patterns were absorbed unconsciously at an early age from the people around us, our parents, family, and siblings. It's time for us to go ahead and break out of these old habits. You know, what can we say? You know, this hits the nail.
I can read what you wrote.
Stop it.
Can I read what you wrote, Dave?
Stop it.
Okay. I won't read your privateness then.
No, we'll talk about it first, because you know this is the first time you're pretty much going through it anyways, right?
Yeah, this man. Let me tell you how this came up. Really quick story before we leave. So he had this open. He had brought it out, and I was like, let me just be fast and flip through his notes. I'm like, oh, I saw stuff about relationships. So I'm like, oh, is this stuff about your ex? He's like, no, it's stuff about you. I'm like, stuff about me? Let me look at this a little bit more keenly. So I'm reading through his notes. I'm like, oh, is that what you think, Dave? And that's what gave me the idea to do the show, though.
What is good?
Yeah.
You know, it was something that we should have like discussed a while back. But it's like, you know, like things happen. We get so busy, right? But we definitely need to go back.
I learned a lot from reading what you thought about me.
You learned a lot.
I did.
Good.
I did. I learned a lot. I'm also learning. I have to read through the rest of this. Can I read some of this? No, eh? Okay.
I don't know. Shoot, we're in a good place. Why not?
We'll leave it alone. You know what, guys? Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions about any of this, honestly, again, like, no one's claiming to be an expert, but I can tell you what doesn't work and what hasn't worked for me in my past, and I can tell you what's working now.
Yes.
We're doing pretty good.
Wonder Twins.
We're 3 years in.
Activate.
Right? We're almost at the 5-year mark. We've gone through some things, you know. Distractions have come, jumped in. You know, people try a thing, gone.
Yeah.
Thing gone. Like,
yeah.
Number one thing I would say to everyone, to most relationships and all relationships, you will last if you have a goal. If you guys have a concrete goal on what you want, believe me, all the disappointments, the distractions, the noise is what I call it, it will fall away.
That's right.
Guys, thank you for tuning in to Here to Help You. We'll see you next week, 5 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. Stay tuned for What Matters with Mrs. Erica, the beautiful Erica Edwards. Have a wonderful, safe Tuesday evening, and peace out.
Peace and love, family.
Always. You guys never watch us. You see that?
That's not bad. Not bad at all.
Watch us, man. Watch us. See you guys next week.